Good day, students. Welcome to another lecture in advertising. Today we are going to continue with public relations. Remember, we have discussed so much in public relations, but we're still not done with the chapter. So today we are going to look at the final part of the chapter. Right. So let's look at today's learning outcome. So we are going to look at the duties and services provided by a PR consultant. We are also going to define in-house public relations as well as the advantages of in-house PR department and the disadvantages of having an in-house PR department. Right, so let's look at the duties or services provided by a PR consultant. So what do PR consultants do? So number one, you're saying that they actually write communications. They are the ones who write a press release, or they are the ones who write it can be a story to back up the story in the media and so on. So they actually more work with written communication. They organize also events. If in case there's a conference, there's interviews and so on, they help to organize those events. They also do media relations. Know that a PR it acts like a transport between the company and the media. So they actually connect the media. They create that relationship with the media as well as with the company. And they develop promotional strategies. They have to come up with strategies on how to get the media to talk about their clients' stories, their clients' brands, products, and so on. So they have to come up with those strategies. So these are the duties of a PR consultant. Now let's look at an in-house public relation. In-house, you are just saying that a PR department in the company. So you're saying in-house PR is when an organization does not seek any assistance from outside the organization. They often perform it internally on their own. So in this case, the company has its own department of public relations where they will have all the necessary people needed for a public relation. They will have a PR consultant and so on. Now let's look at the advantages of having an in-house PR department. So we are saying that one of the benefits is company-centric focus. So with an in-house PR, the public relation offices or department happens to be more concentrated to the company instead of other companies, which is compared to an external one. An external one, you might find one PR consultant, of course, having 100 or 20 or 10 clients, and those are companies. And in that case, the attention is shared and so on. Number two, stable environment. So with an in-house PR, you have a stable environment. You are working, the PR department is only working on the company. So they are able to get comfortable and to create that safe and stable environment. Number three is cost effective, right? So you're saying that it's much cheaper to have an in-house PR rather than hiring a PR from outside. And number two is also time. So since it's an in-house PR, the more time is spent working on the company's brand, product, and so on. So you get the department has enough time to work on the company's project. So these are the advantages of an in-house PR department. Now, let's look at the disadvantages of having an in-house PR department. Number one, you are saying that you have fewer contacts because you are just inside. You will not be able to explore outside. Number two, less creativity because it's now like you are in a box because you are only working on the company. You are not aware of how other company situations are handled. So the creativity is limited. Right, so these are the disadvantages of having an in-house PR department. And this will take us to the end of our lesson today. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. I'll see you guys in our next lesson.